Akyam. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akyam spreading this truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to delve into Acts chapter 4. Just like the video of yesterday, I want to basically start at the end of the chapter. Which that is a part of the chapter that I was just reading and basically caught my attention. Because as we're going to find out, here it talks about, how back in the days, the disciples who became apostles, and the churches, they had a treasury. Basically, like, let's say compared to this day and age, they have like a bank account in which they have money stored up, so that when things happen, they can retract money from the account to basically deal with the situation. You see, so that those that belong to the Church of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are being taken care of, by the body itself, man, so that we're taking care of one another. You see? So this is Acts chapter 4 and verse 32. And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common. So the believers, the believers, they had the mindset that they should share and care for one another. Because the one thing that one brother might be lacking in, another brother is able to provide, and vice versa, man. The one that provided something might be lacking in something else, but then the one that he's providing for is able to provide for that which he is lacking. You see, and through that you're basically creating a strong bond within the body, man, of helping one another. So they had all things in common. They were sharing these things. You see? And they were all agreeing upon it as well, because it says they were of one heart and of one soul. Basically, their mind was set to the same thing. You see? So if you have, for instance, individuals out there that know that, for instance, tithes are being sent to the elder apostles, but they really don't want to send tithes, it means that they are not like-minded like those that are doing that which the scriptures actually said that we should be doing. That we should be taking care of the priests of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and those, that labor basically for us. Of course, the ancient priesthood, is not present no more upon this earth, like it was back in the days. But we do have our elders, we do have our elder apostles that we consider to be the leaders. Just like how after the fall of our people, in the Babylonian Empire, and then when we was set up again, after the Medo-Persians, when we was allowed to rebuild the temple in the city, Salaka, even in troublous times, just like the book of Daniel chapter 9 says, then it was no more, the royal line of kings that, were our leaders, but then you would see indeed that we got a high priest, which that means that the Levites were basically the leaders of the people during that time, you see. And when our nation fell again, and we came back up, right now we have the elder apostles GMS on down that we consider to be our leaders, of Israel, you see. I don't know where I was going with all that, but the point is that, oh yeah, I remember again that we should provide for those that take care of us. Back in the days, the tribes, they provided for the Levites. The Levites, their only work was to do the service of the Most High. They had no time to spend it, in the field raising cattle or growing crops. What our people did, mending the field, mending the crops, mending the animals, the cattle. The Levites got a part of that, you see. Due to them, receiving a portion, of the meats and things like that. So in this day and age, we provide as well for the elder apostles, GMS on down, by selling them tithes, so that they can push the work and do the work. But if you have men out there that don't see the benefit or the necessity of that, then they are not like-minded. Like it said over here, that all that believe were of one heart and of one soul. You see? But then also my message concerning those that don't really want to pay tithes because, for instance, they don't have that amount of money. Let me see where it was. Let me see where it is. Malachi. This is Malachi chapter 3, verse 8. Will a man rob the Most High? Yet ye have robbed me, but ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. You see, so back in the days, there were already people that wasn't really, down with the tithes and the offerings that we had to put up. Fast forward to the future, 2024, 2025, you still have people out there that hardly want to pay any tithes, man. That don't, have the mindset of understanding, like, okay, when I give, Heavenly Father is also going to protect me. He's going to provide for me through faith. You pay your tithes by faith, man. You pay your tithes by faith because you know that is the right thing to do, and you know that it is a part of what the Heavenly Father requires, and therefore you also know that the Heavenly Father will sustain you as well. You see? Verse 9, ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, said the Lord Jehovah of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. So here the Heavenly Father is actually saying, like, okay, test me. Pay me the tithes, or lay down the tithes that you're supposed to do, and I, in return, will reward you with so much that you cannot even fathom. You will not be able to deal with the amount that I'm going to replenish unto you back. You see? That is what the Heavenly Father is saying in here. So actually those that are not paying the tithes, or that are not, having the same mindset of helping one another, they're actually harming themselves, man. They're actually harming themselves, because part of having faith is doing these things even though you might not have so much. You see, the scriptures talk about how this one widow woman, or at least this older woman, she paid, basically a very small amount in faith. By her faith, she paid a very small amount. But the relationship between what she paid and what she had was enormous, by which Yahweh Shai said she basically paid everything that she had. She laid down everything that she had. But those that was rich, they paid a lot, but it was only a small amount compared to what they had. You see? So the woman, was being justified more than the rich man that paid more. Why? Because in comparison, she paid the most. You see? And then fast forward to 2024, 2025, those that are in the truth, even though you don't have so much, make these things known. Talk to the ones that are like, the higher ups in the camp. Those that you can entrust with that knowledge about your situation. Speak to him about your financial situation, and he is gonna tell you, hey, whatever you can spare, man, put it down, because you do it according to your faith, according to what you have. You see, and we have had, someone that did not even pay the tithes, man. This man is not amongst us no more. He did not pay the tithes, and now he's gone. You see, because you need to understand that through the scriptures, you're able to filter down and understand who is a man of the Lord, because it is known in his actions, man, in his mannerisms and everything. Are we going to be perfect? No, we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fall back sometimes within the flesh. But for the majority of the time, you can see like an upgoing trend of how this man is going to improve himself within this truth. You see, so we pay that money, or we help out, our fellow brothers across the seas, here and there, according to our faith and according to our ability, man. You see, he that has more is able to lay down more. He that has less is able to lay down less. But hey, in comparison, most likely the one that has less paid a greater percentage of what he had. You see? Salakia. So back in Acts chapter 4. And verse 33, and with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Yahushua, and great grace was upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold. You see, so yet again, brothers were sharing, taking care of one another with what they used to have before the truth, and making sure that they could use that for the benefit of the church. You see? So it's not how you say that, because oftentimes you will hear about these Christian churches, right, how they basically abuse their congregation with the money and do things with it that are not calmly or convenient. But when we do these things, it is out of necessity, not because we want to buy a jet plane or because we want to buy this, that, and the third. No, it is about because brothers are in a certain predicament or situation that they need to be taken out of, which we understand that Satan is prowling the earth, man. And when we give our money to the elder apostles as tithes, it is because we acknowledge them as being our leaders, and we see that the time that they invest, they should be investing in the ministry of the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Because you need to understand that the elder apostles are still working. They're still working even though they're in their old age. Still working, busting their asses off, man. And still they're making a lot of videos on a daily basis. You see? This is Acts chapter 4, verse 35. And laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. You see? And we also heard, that in America, the elder apostles, they don't use the money, for themselves, man. They also use it, when things are needed, when it's like a necessity. You see, so they have their quote unquote treasury there as well. You see, how we do it over here in Holland is when things are needed, we discuss it with one another and we put the money down. Verse 36, and Joseph, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which being interpreted the son of consolation, a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. You see, so, in this day and age, we don't need to sell our houses and do this, that, and the third, and whatever we have, we need to give, to the ministry or give to the brothers. We don't need to do that in this day and age. That is what, they did back in those days. You see, because the disciples that became apostles, but they basically, gave everything up for the ministry of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. To move to these different locations, to move to these different churches, But we in this day and age, we can just function quite quote unquote quite normally, within this world, have our daily business that we need to take care of, and next to that, we preach the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see, from the comfort, quote unquote, of our living room. Spreading it with the unicorn, which is the internet. You see. So yeah, this was a quite a short video, but hey, I read it, Acts chapter 4, and I wanted to go into that part, because these are things that that happened back in those days, and back in basically this modern day and age, right? We are still dealing with similar situations, man. It might be a little bit different here and there, but the mindset is that we help one another when things are, are necessary, man. Unless, of course, brothers get themselves in troubles after, certain advices and counsels were already given and established that things should not be done that way. And if then a brother messes up, hey, that responsibility is upon him and not on us. You see, but for the majority, when things like that happen without brothers' ill intentions behind it, we just help one another, man. You see, so these things always need to be discussed among those that are of the higher ranks amongst the camp. They need to hear about the whole matter, these situations, ask questions, and they can decide, what we gonna do. But with that, I do hope and pray that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading the truth and sincerity. Shalom.